Alrighty. It is time to begin our adventures. And with our time here so far in this world of Lux, we have begun to be quite the um, criminal enterprise, having assassinated and taken care of, poisoned, and conducted evil mutation experiments upon various people, and then murdering the creations when we ourselves grew too scared of them. We
It was not intentional. Don't make it sound like it was intentional.
here in this insanity, we now come upon Nixie flying through the darkness, trying to trail an individual who identified from the myriad, who seemed to try to give a bit of recruitment and a little bit of blackmail to Cam, who quickly took care of it and got the heck out of town. And let's see what happens. Excuse me. To Nixie. With that, give me a stealth check, please, Nixie.
Add advantage because I'm invisible.
Yes.
Come on. That is going to be a 21.
Okay. Real quick, is the song of my child coming through my mic?
Yes.
Okay, wait a second.
He's just singing the song of his people.
I was wondering. It was a lovely song.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he could join the Vienna Boys Choir if he really wanted to.
All right. Yeah, I tried the voice isolation to see if that would help at all. And apparently it did not. So, in that case, moving slowly, this individual makes his way through the streets here and pausing as kind of just smiles, walking, taking everything in. And approaches a darkened, appears to be a home or abandoned shop as he opens the door and goes to go into it.
I'm going to try to sneak in after him.
And give me another stealth check, please.
I'm going to use my talisman pact. So that's going to be an 18.
Okay. You flutter in as the door shuts. And there, you see him take his cane and he clicks it to the left, and it opens up as he lets this softly glowing chalk fall into his hand. Then he closes it back up and begins writing and drawing in a circle on the floor.
Can I try to discern what he's trying to draw?
An Arcana check.
14.
Seems something akin. How it's a ritual spell, specifically what you're not entirely sure.
I just kind of sit in the back and we'll hang out and try to watch.
Takes about 11 minutes to perfectly draw all the symbols. When he's finished, it glows brightly. And he walks into it and vanishes. And with it, the chalk burns away. And no trace of him is left behind.
Definitely need to let Big Cheese know this now. And Nixie will try to exit sneakily still, just in case there's eyes on the place.
Okay. I'll give you another stealth then.
19.
Uh, 19. You move through, and I believe after some time, all of you can join each other once more.
Okay, good news or bad news?
Well, let's be positive for the moment. What's the good news?
I got the cat!
That's excellent. We also got ours.
Good.
And we got ours.
I feel less accomplished, but okay. Bad news? I lost Nixie. And
What?
I think someone tried to kidnap me from the League.
Wait, what?
I lost Nixie. And I think someone tried to kidnap me from the League.
From the League?
Yeah, like he had my cat and he was like in a cage, and then he's all like, "Oh, come talk to us. We might be able to help you." And I was like, "No." And I turned around and Nixie was gone, and then I was like, "Fuck." And so I said no thanks, and I ran away with the cat.
You all see, like, Cam's hair starts getting, like, done up and everything. No one sees who's doing it.
Also, I think I might be haunted.
No, it's just me.
God damn it, Nixie. Where'd you
I followed the
go?
guy.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah, she unsnaps invisibility and she goes, he actually went into this little warehouse place. And then he drew some type of circle thing on the floor and it started glowing really brightly and he walked into it and then vanished.
That's cool.
So, this person might be with the Myriad?
Yeah, they totally were. They basically said that, and then they were like, "We'll give you the cat back if you come with us."
Oh.
I don't want to come with them.
And they also have magic.
Yeah. I didn't stick around for that part.
So do we still know where their base is then? Because I mean, technically, it disappeared into a teleport.
Well, he said they were out in a caravan outside the city, right?
He did.
Okay.
Well, that could be anywhere.
Like, I thought about going with them so we could get a location, but then I thought they're going to kidnap me, and I really don't want to get kidnapped, and I didn't want them to use my blood for experiments.
They were totally going to kidnap you.
Yeah.
So, Sharp Cheddar, it looks like Big Cheese is under the weather today. I think you're going to have to take the lead.
Yeah. Have we figured out how many entrances there are to the city? Anybody know that?
I mean, you know the ones that you know of. I mean, you've got an idea that there could be a few like hidden ones here or there.
So, but there's only
Also,
2 official. Is that
certain
what
From the
parts
we're
of the wall
outside,
are
there's
hidden.
one official, and then there's the preserve.
preserve, which is the way we came in.
Right.
Okay.
But also, the walls are not well protected, and you could just go right over one.
Well, yeah, because we have an exit out of our place. You
No, I
So-
literally climbed a wall.
Oh. Like, okay.
They're not well protected.
It couldn't be just that you were that good at evading.
Look, I'm good
Notice?
at a lot of things, but I got little legs and little arms, and I am not a climber.
Oh. Well, I think we should maybe head back to our base. Try to avoid the floating eye things that you noticed when we were leaving. How is everybody doing?
I'm
Are
tired.
you feeling okay?
Yeah, I only damaged myself.
Floating pot, yes.
Actually, that didn't hurt me much. It was when I lit up things.
Okay.
It's when I did my curses.
I am relatively fine, although could use a short rest.
So tomorrow
That's
at
what is-
sundown, we're supposed to meet with Roulettas.
Yeah.
I guess. Any thoughts on what we should do with the warehouse? Is it ours now?
It's ours.
Is that how this thing works?
Well, it used to be theirs, right?
Yeah.
And they're not here anymore. So
So it's ours.
it'd either become
Yeah.
ours or, I guess, one of the other families if they try to claim it.
Well, so when we took over the last place, the system, that voice that you heard where you're like, "What's that?"
Uh-huh. My
It
ex.
was like acquired a new base or something. So I don't know if we need to go back and do something there, or if it's not a base we can acquire. What do you all think?
Why does it say I can do parkour?
Have you
I
tried?
think it's ours. Finders keepers.
I don't know. And maybe it's something you got for our achievement.
No offense, but your boyfriend sucks.
Doesn't he?
100%. What did we do with Mold?
He's just chilling over there.
Yeah, I think he's still at the warehouse, actually. That's where we left him.
Well, we should go, I guess, check on him. See if he has any other useful information. How about we start there? Does that sound good?
That works.
Yes, Cap.
I'm nodding.
Notes.
So we'll head back to check on Mold.
Okay, this is at the main thing here.
That's at that base here.
The base where we poisoned the people, not our actual base.
Yeah.
Because we think that's where we left Mold.
It was because we had him get the guys and bring them to us. So
I think Mold cleaned up all those bodies.
Well, I was just wondering if there were bodies.
That's a valid point. There's at least cat bodies.
All right. So heading back to where Mold is here, you see him just sort of staying and a little horrified. He worked with these people.
Emerald.
I have to say, Mold, clearly you made the right choice. Wouldn't you think?
Of course, I am loyal to the cheese.
As everyone should be.
I was thinking, should it all be cheese or various products that come from milk, and we would be the dairy dynasty?
Mo's got some pretty good ideas, guys.
We will take that under advisement and discuss it at the next board meeting.
I'm glad we didn't kill you.
Can you tell us if you know any more about the interactions you have previously had with the Myriad?
Personally, I did not have money. This was the first person I had met. Much of the people you killed had more to do with it than I did.
Oh.
For this base, another person can make it theirs for the moment. And
I say we give it to our friend the Antlers, who's missing. Also known as Jonathan.
I don't know that we can do that.
Jonathan's not in the game anymore.
I know. I just don't want to run it.
What if you have to run it?
Not it.
So
What would you
right now
want?
it's sort of up between Ursa and Cam. Because I already
What?
have the actual legitimate business house.
Bulger apartment shears.
Well, I suppose we could clean out the bodies and turn it into a bunkhouse of sorts.
Okay, you're in charge. Congratulations.
I am now in charge of what will soon to be a bunkhouse, maybe?
Yep.
Yes, so you can add that using the Bastion things. Which is a fun note, is officially going to be in the new 2024 D&D.
Nice.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's sort of exciting.
So when you say bunkhouse, you mean for all of our future minions? Or you're opening a business that's a bunkhouse?
Actually, I was kind of thinking a place to house all of our orphan students.
Oh.
So this becomes the school? I'm confused.
I didn't know
Now
we were opening a boarding school.
It's like an orphan dorm. I get it.
I mean, that, or it can be like basically like a boarding house where you pay to stay and help clean up because we don't have any staff.
Mold, besides the drug things, what did your crew used to do before that? What work did you all used to do, or has it always been running drugs for the Myriad?
Um, drugs in general. Always doing various things. Our main thing has always been substances. Just when the Myriad came with its special one, it got more intense, you could say.
Hey, look! Mold is our staff.
But what will be my next assignment from you all?
How do you feel about kids, Mold? Like, not yours personally.
Don't have much. I mean, much of the time I would take care of the training. There were some young ones that I would care occasionally in my care.
I got a feeling that's as much of experience as we're gonna find in this town.
What would you train them in?
For us, it was the younger ones started as lookouts. That was the biggest need for it. Then they would drop off packages. Of course, starting with things that were more benign, you could say. Then we'd work them up to the more trusted product. But sneaking, quick, throat slitting when need be, and outright collection intimidation later.
So, Mold, in our short time here, we've seen that this city, kingdom, is not very prosperous, which probably means there's a lot of people looking for work. Do you know people who might be interested in work that maybe they were opposed to the drugs specific portions of dealing with the Myriad? So we're trying to, build our organization a bit. Maybe you can help with some recruiting. Cam will sort of be heading our criminal organization building, I think, is what we decided.
Yep.
So maybe you and Cam can work together on finding some good prospects for the organization.
This is for your school you were talking about, or for other things?
No. For the criminal organization aspect.
Unless you're trying to go straight, then you can work for the school.
I think, yes, we could find people who need more work. A lot of people need. I need to know how much we're paying them. those types of things, and what I guess shady business we're doing.
All right. Because you guys were sort of doing a protection racket, is that right?
Mold was part of the drug stuff.
Who was the group? I have it written down. Why don't you look at your notes, Bobby? Because that would require extra work. Oh, they did smuggling and magic drugs.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're leaning more towards smuggling, right?
Yeah. I don't want to do any selling of magical drugs. That's for sure.
And we produce them and sell them ourselves. What?
I think that would not endear us to the fellows who wish for the drugs to go away.
Oh, right. Right. Forgot about that.
So what are we smuggling? Because yeah, we did that, and then definitely ran some of that. We had our pickup spots. Basically, people needed stuff brought in. It's a combination of getting things through the walls, through holes, or past guards with appropriate bribes.
I think a good thing to know is what people, besides drugs, what kind of things are people trying to get smuggled in? And what guards were had questionable moral.
Well, I got that. I mean, it depends, I guess, how much you want to manage this thing. But I can begin getting it going.
Why don't we just continue smuggling like normal?
Because we need a product to smuggle, and we don't want to smuggle the current product.
Right, but they were already smuggling stuff.
Well, we kind of got overtaken by the myriad with all that. So if we're going to do another thing, we need to. I mean, I can start to see if we can get some of the older contacts.
There you go.
Yeah. If you get started on that, then we can, when the big cheese is feeling better, we can discuss it and see how he would like to proceed. But it doesn't hurt to have information. And it'll give you a task for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'll start to get who's looking to get stuff in. Might be a little hard. We can find it's going to be smaller operations. I think Myriad butted out most of the bigger things.
That's fine. We start off small and then we take them over.
All right.
Yes, clearly we've picked a fight with the Myriad, so they are a problem we intend on dealing with. So, and maybe that whatever they're taken over will become available to us, and that's a service we will be able to provide. So, Ursa, did the locks magically change over to you like they did in the other place?
Wait, what box?
The locks to the.
Oh. Did they?
Yes.
Have locks.
It seems I am indeed the keeper of the keys to this place.
That's Gouda.
I guess something we should discuss before we meet with the Roulettas tomorrow is, do we intend on letting them use the space that was previously used as the gambling hall and use it as neutral ground?
For a price.
They're already paying us a price.
No, but to continue to use it for a price.
I feel like that would negate the essence of it being neutral ground. Perhaps a lump sum.
Okay, everyone has to chip in, all the families, a little bit of money for upkeep.
I mean, if it's going to be neutral ground, it'd only be fair
neutral.
that everybody cover a portion of the expenses, I suppose.
Just to make it cheerier in here. Less bear.
Cat
and
bodies
dry.
and poison.
Wait, are we talking about this place now? I just got confused.
Oh, I don't know.
Talking about where the casino was originally was above our space.
Oh, that's
Where we were it again.
I mean, it could be here too if you all wanted to do it that way. That way it's not right above our space.
I'm just confused.
Yeah, we haven't made it over to our main base yet. Because we came here.
to talk to Mold.
Yeah. We can head back to the main base now, though. I just wanted to make sure the locks changed over so that if we left, it was locked up.
Yeah.
As much as an abandoned warehouse can be locked up. Maybe the system engages some sort of magical protocol or something. I don't know. I don't know how this system works.
I'm not sure the dude who put us here knows how it works.
I'm not sure he does either.
He thought, like, go in here, save the world. So far, all we're doing is becoming criminals, and I'm not complaining.
That seems to be working out better for us than the hero thing. Although, we didn't just let the rat, cat, platypus things run amok, so we sort of were heroic in that aspect of it. We could have said, I don't care.
We also created them, though.
Look, it was an accident.
Kind of cleaned up our own mess.
Right. But some people would have said, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. We didn't let anyone die from them. So.
We didn't let anybody die. And we potentially found 2 talented magical students.
So,
yeah,
Nara,
pick them up and keep them in our place.
Since the big cheese isn't here to go, since we're gonna have to talk with the people, the Rouletta, and I'm guessing you're gonna be the one doing the talking, because I'm just this little guy. I'm gonna help read their mind and feed you what they're knowing. Okay?
Okay.
So don't get all crazy like when you hear my voice inside your head like you are right now.
Sorry, I just remembered the ghost. I wonder if they're going to be there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of ghosts there, huh?
Yeah. What that's about. Anyway, that's apparently a tomorrow evening problem.
Maybe we can align with the ghosts too and make a deal with them, because we like help them out.
Yes, I wonder if by getting rid of this drug in this group, we have in some way helped them. Guess we'll have to find out. I'll make sure that I can see invisible things when we're there. Is there
New
anything
player
anybody
has
wants to do?
entered the scenario.
What?
Olivia's here.
It was like, wait. I'm like, did somebody suddenly sign up and we didn't know about it? Totally confused.
How was your nap?
It was nice. What's going on right now?
Ursa is sort of in charge of what was formerly the drug dealing base. So that is now under our control. We're not sure what we're doing about it. We're kind of looking into some smuggling stuff. Oh yeah, big super important thing is that Cam and Nixie, yeah. Like, why am I
Nixie.
saying the name wrong? Nixie. I was afraid I was gonna go with Nixie, and then I'm like, wait, is that not right? And then my brain does that to me sometimes. Nixie met somebody who may be with a myriad, and Nixie followed him.
And
Been
he tried
abandoned.
to kidnap me.
Oh,
Right.
I'm glad you're okay, Cam. I'm worried about. Yeah.
Oh, and the big cheese isn't feeling well, so we have to get him back to the base and put him to bed.
He had a rough day.
I mean, he was nearly eaten by cat, rat, platypus thingies, so that's apparently a lot. Oh, Matt, one other thing. When we got back, were there actually bodies in the cocoon thing, or were they all gone?
Oh, all the bodies were killed and such things.
Okay.
Mutated.
So, nothing for Olivia to put in her bag.
I mean, there's this one. It just has an arrow through it.
We were talking about how we had to meet with the Roulettas tomorrow.
And yeah, we do have an appointment with them.
And then we were talking about if we were going to allow them to use the casino space, or the space that was the casino, above our space. And if so, how we were going to handle that. And the topic came up that maybe if it's going to be neutral ground, the family should split the costs of upkeep. So we were just going to head back to the main base. And I had asked if anybody wanted to stop anywhere or do anything before we go. Oh, and we have to avoid the eyeballs.
I need to buy more arrows.
Okay. Sure, we might be able to find a Fletcher on the way.
I went through a lot of arrows against that non-magical thing.
All right. So head back and look for I don't know, a weapon store that sells arrows, or a Fletcher, or a general store that sells arrows. We're looking for arrows.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can buy arrows, Player's Handbook. Arrows definitely are sale here, so it's not a big deal. So what is the major course of action you're looking to do next?
I think. So I guess we kind of have choices. Do we want to investigate more the myriad that's on the outside, or do we want to have the meeting with the Roulettas? That's sort of the two things that I see where we can go. Unless people have other ideas.
The problem with the Myriad is we know they're on the outside. We don't know where. And I'm guessing by the time we get out there and even find it, we might find an old base because obviously he told us where they were outside. So I don't know if they'll still be there.
And either way, it might take too long to the point where we miss our meeting with the Roulettas, which
Right.
we should keep.
Plus,
Okay.
I think all of us are like
Tired.
Yeah. Half our resources are gone, if not more.
Okay. So it sounds like our immediate plan is to go home and rest, and then our next big in-game thing is having the meeting with Roulettas, unless something else happens along the way,
Yeah.
like we get attacked or
Or I get kidnapped.
something creepy, or Cam gets kidnapped. Does that help? Is that a helpful answer? I want to help.
I
I want to
don't.
help you help us.
Okay, so in that case, so you say you're into Roulettas? Is that what you're?
We're gonna take a nap first.
Okay.
Yeah, because the Roulettas was the next evening. So
Yeah,
we still have the night
so-
to go through, yeah.
Mhm. All right. So anything that you wanted to do during this nighttime?
All I needed was to buy crossbow bolts
Okay, which you can definitely do.
because
Oh,
I had
yes.
none.
I guess the thing those of us here have to decide, and I guess we have to decide it before we meet with Roulettas, is are we going to re-elect this place as neutral space? And this is where the casino that we will get a percentage of will go.
This was what was agreed upon, right? We would give them the casino to run, and they will give us a cut of the income.
Yeah, well, we would hand over the running of a casino to them. We didn't specify our location, but I sort of feel like it was also hinted at that it used to be neutral ground. And I think if we're providing that in a way, I think that also gives us a little bit of not really leverage, but I don't know. Goodwill, maybe? Something. So my vote would be that we do. I'll put it that way. So this is where everybody else votes their votes.
Sorry, I was making sure I added crossbow bolts.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Bastion stuff. I'm sorry.
I had like 10 left. And I was like,
later.
if we get into a fight, I'm fucked.
I can if I have a short rest, I get back all my wild shapes. So there's that, and I have one rage left, so I'm good on that. But that's it.
I vote
Wait.
yes.
Wait. What does that have to do with? Are we agreeing to let them use the space?
Oh,
That was the
we're
vote.
talking about resources.
Here's my thing: either we have everybody chip in, or we still run it as ours because that's another source of income for us.
I feel like it's fine giving it to them. I just don't know how having every house like throw in some coinage will work verbiage wise. Like I feel like if we all put in like a payment up front, then yeah, that might work. But if it's like a consistent like upkeep thing, that doesn't make sense because we would like it would happen anyway naturally by going there and just losing money to the house.
Yeah, I think we should probably offer it still as neutral ground, but we keep all the profit. We run it.
And we would have to run the casino, and we agreed not to run the casino.
Oh, we agreed not to.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes,
think
we
breaking...
wanted to do the medicine. The we're gonna charge all the houses extra money for medical care.
I think
Was-
that my concern is having all of the houses right on top of our base.
if we complete our argument to take out the myriad, I don't see that as a huge problem. And we'll be healing people anyway, so the people of the other houses would be coming into our base anyway.
Oh, that's valid. Okay, yeah. I'm fine then. Let them have it.
Well, and we're not gonna let them have it. They're gonna use
Well, you know
it.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Let them use it.
Plus, it's the
Okay.
best way to get information from all the families without them knowing, because they come to
True.
you, and you could have like mold there who could collect information about the families.
Okay.
He is literally the mold on the wall.
He's
So then, if
useful.
that's the case, if they're going to run it, then the upkeep cost would be on them, right? That's
Yep.
what we're saying. The other houses wouldn't chip in.
Right.
Am
I was
making this
thinking that they would
complicated?
all chip in, so then they all feel like they make it the safe space. So, like, there's no fighting here. There's no stealing from each other. Sure, we might have our own agenda because it's technically our whole space, but we're allowing the one family to run the casino through here. And when those families come in to use that casino, they don't feel like they have to worry about anything else.
Okay. Cool. So it looks like everybody's okay with letting them put the casino up in our extra space, we'll call it, where it was before. And then we will still get a cut from the roulettas from their running it. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we made that decision, which was the other thing we had to decide before we met with the roulettas. Unless somebody can think of something else.
Who can talk to dead ghosts?
Are there alive ghosts that I should be worried about?
No, they'll all be dead. And Lenora can see them. Livia?
I can't see them normally, but I would love to talk to ghosts.
Maybe we could get you guys together after the meeting with the roulette and try to talk to the ghost.
That would be wonderful. I really want to talk to ghosts. I've never seen a ghost, but I hear they're super, super cool, so.
Okay, so we're currently headed to the roulettas.
Well, first we're gonna take a long rest.
Cool.
And
All
then
right,
we're gonna head.
so you can successfully long rest here.
Take a long rest. Sheet 2. Take a long rest.
I don't even bother with sheet 2 anymore.
Sheet 2 has all my spells on it. That's why I need to.
Well, sheet 2 is my rogue, so I just moved over a button that says sneak attack.
Ah, yes. I have a refresh in mutations. I've just been expending all of my first level spell slots to mutate. Give myself the ability to speak.
Okay, so with your successful rest, then, so where's that you wanted to meet the roulettas?
They told us to meet him at the Drunken something, right? At what bar? Someone who takes notes. Quick.
Drunken Owl or something like that?
Very cool. In that
Yeah.
case, in the somewhat loud
Gesundheit.
very much dive bar, kind of a dirt floor that has a smell of very, very old alcohol mixed with a little bit of urine. You are able to have a conversation, a very loud place. That it doesn't take long as you walk in to see that though there is fights, push shoves going on in this oddly large thing, about 100 or I should say more like 1,000 square feet. I keep making this wrong in my head. 10,000 square feet is what I meant to say.
I know.
Area.
Wait.
It is so packed to the brim of population pushing, and you can see though that there are those who are watching, are paying attention. Sort of some undercover roulettas that seem to be there, but sitting in a vast robe in what seems to be the most cleanest place, the only one that has a few vegetation in, like some plants that have been cared for. It's the head rouletta family you met before. Agreed to. Oh, you called the meeting so soon.
Yes. We have achieved the request that you made.
Interesting. You've done. Are they gone?
The Ruck-Tough Rufters are no more.
We heard some rumors, but you indeed are ruthless.
However, it seems the thing that they were dealing in actually traces back to another organization.
Tell us.
Folks of many color.
I see.
Seems to be making trouble here.
Pushing their wares, no doubt. Is this where the substances come from?
Yes. Seems like they're not good for this town, so they've made themselves a bit of a nuisance that will have to be dealt with.
During this time, Nixie would also like to subtly cast Detect Thoughts. And just try to probe his surface thoughts for now. And feed them to Lunara with her telepathy.
It continues. Let's see. There's the Ruffers that accepted this colorful hand. And they've paid the price.
Aye. They have.
We are in your debt. We are happy to discuss and use our pull among the other families. We will say it, I think, is in everyone's interest that your expansion halts in the underworld. Take care of your business. You talked of a medical, taking care of people without under the official oversight, which I think works out well. But our continued support of this endeavor, and I think of the other families, will hinder upon the myriad not getting its revenge upon us all. We've put your organization front and center as their target, which works, but that will be the main test. With that, I can say, from what we've heard of your endeavors, and what we ourselves have seen, they even look up and you can see like a myriad of like ravens up in the rafters as those you are capable. We wish to, as much as it can depend, have us all have a piece of the corruption. And you move on to what you need. From our last meeting, it seems you had aspirations beyond mere criminality.
Yes, we do have some other interests. I think our greatest interest is making this kingdom better, so that the cut we're able to all get will also be better. I think that's a goal that all of the organizations can share.
Indeed. I think the guarantee most of us want is once somebody enters in to our dealings, we're allowed to deal with them the way we need to. As long as there's no interference in how we run what we run. And I think with the new agreement that we keep drugs out of our cities. It's too fraught with corruption.
Sorry. Back into character. So in that, we also, per our agreement, we would like to extend the space of neutrality that was once shared within our organizations. As you were running the gambling house that once was the primary resource for those that we
If we wish to do this, then we would need control of the entire thing to provide adequate security. If it's to be neutral, if it is simply to be a front or whatever, we are willing to take it over, even though it is not our business to manage it, and feed 20% of profits to you. And this will keep it separate from our own gambling.
Is this how it was done previously?
Well, okay, they didn't run the old one.
No, but I'm just saying, how is it managed as neutral ground? I think that's the important thing, is that it be a place where the organizations can meet or.
Gotcha.
That's sort of how it was kind of explained to you.
Right. So it was there anyway. Yes, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're able to do this.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's the important thing. We want to build that neutral space.
Yeah, they agree. And you get that it's quite profitable. So as they looked at it, it's the best. It's really good for them. And as you
if I'm following it correctly, they're basically asking for the gambling hall that's we're currently residing in, and the space underneath.
That was originally, but they will. So what I guess it's the space on the thing with you having the whole space, you had places should trouble come. We would be opening many of our people up to our raid. We need access to the lower levels.
So they would just need access to go there if anything should happen.
Yes, we need a way to avoid any, whether it be from the myriad, from the guards, so they get more wise.
I definitely feel like in time of trouble we could open up the space for that. Again,
We
I'm
would
hoping
need
that
access.
all of,
We need to know that we have access at any time while in operation. So we would not rely on your presence.
We could always use our official base, like our official space, at the warehouse, because we have the warehouse now.
we move that into as being our main base.
Yeah. And this being like solely the space that we provide healing out of or whatnot.
Yeah, I think putting
I mean,
healing in the basement
I think
of
that
the
seems fair.
putting healing in the basement of the gambling house makes the most sense because people already know how to get there.
Yeah.
And it's neutral, so
And it's
And
neutral.
they have to pass through neutral ground in order to get to us.
Yeah. So that makes perfect sense, and we just move over our base of operations to the other one.
Yeah. Where we make our plans and train our people.
okay.
And then we have our legal operations at the house. So
We have so
everything
many.
works out.
Yeah, I think that makes the best sense too.
So you would still have access to the lower levels. You just would have to have there.
Yeah.
So if you wanted your, so you're moving your safe house to what was the Rufters.
Right.
area.
We'll agree to that. That makes sense, and we'll agree. And we want to have the greatest opportunity for organizations to work together. For as the city thrives, so shall we.
Then we will begin to take this. As far as we're concerned, the territory we manage, your territory of the gambling, you take over the Rufters. That is still under your management. And we will let the other houses know for you as well. In 1 month, we wish to convene at the mine to discuss everything with all the families and see how this is working for everyone. That you have taken the Myriad's focus is enough for now. But we will see what you would do. Is this agreeable?
Yep.
And they nod.
Is Nixie getting anything? And feeding me
So,
anything?
so the feeding anything else with the as far as the thoughts, mostly it's just more on the more just wondering if this will work. Still trying to get the trust factor, especially since you get there's some amount of these people came in and they've just been brutal. Has not been a like take away power, change things, and so there is definitely a certain factor of you get I would say you get the somewhat hidden intention, though not overly hidden by the way they talked. In the thoughts is they need to know if they need to muster now or you're still starting and exterminate you if you have potential to be too powerful for them, and if you keep the line basically. So that's sort of the biggest thing because you just killed one family to solve the problem. You killed another, even though they did want you to. Yeah, it's basically.
Okay. Well, then we will, as we have their eyes on us, we will deal with the myriad as they come at us. Hopefully, if force is necessary, it'll be the last time that is an approach we have to take to such extremes.
I nod. All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
No. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't know this. Do I feel like the ghosts were more attached to the house, or is it to the family? Did I feel like I got a sense?
You thought it was more the sort of the house. The ghosts aren't really where this is.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So that concludes our business. We'll head out unless somebody has anything else. Hearing nothing, I'm guessing we're heading out.
Sorry, Cam was drinking.
I mean, I'd put on my surprise face, but why even?
So now that that's done, what's our next step?
Huh. Well, I guess we are now the primary target of the myriad. I guess we'll have to deal with that as they come at us.
Do we try going looking for them first? Or let them attempt their actions first on us?
I don't know that with the big cheese being sick, if now would be a great time to try and approach them. Unless our plan is to try and deceive them.
What way are you thinking?
Does anybody else have thoughts?
I'm cool with just killing everyone, but I don't think that's what we should do.
Yeah.
I'm also very worried in letting them get ready because last time they sent a demon after us with just a few minutes of preparation. We don't know what they can do with enough
They've had
preparation,
a whole
to be
night.
honest.
We also know how many of them there are. And they are clearly magical.
And he didn't actually want to lead me to where his base was outside the town. He just kind of led me into, I think, some warehouse that they knew that was empty and used it. So I don't know if he actually even might have known I was following him.
Maybe another thing we should try and figure out is what's with these eyeballs. That are watching our base.
You think the eyeball has thoughts? I could read its thoughts.
Do you think we should take them out or leave them be so we can misguide them when it counts?
I guess I'm not crazy about the idea of us being watched, but if we can use them to mislead, I'm not opposed to that at all. But I don't know how we can use them for that purpose. I mean, I guess I'm curious if we think it belongs to any of the other houses. Or do we think it's the Myriad?
I'm gonna be honest, the other houses kind of seem easy to kill and take over, so I'm worried about the Myriad.
Yes, unless they attempt to team up against us.
Yeah! That's a problem.
For them, at least right now, Myriad is a bigger concern. If they take us out, there's no target practice for the Myriad. We'll see how that might be logical for them.
Well, thanks to Nixie, some information she was able to glean. There is concern about our brutality. Even though it was requested by at least one family. They're afraid that we potentially could do the same to them that we have so far done to a couple of different organizations.
Oh, but we don't do that to friends.
But that doesn't
Don't
change
think
that
that they're
they're
convinced that they're our friends yet.
Okay.
Why aren't they our friends?
Apparently because we blew into town, killed one entire organization, and then within the next couple of days completely knocked out another one without any qualms.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Apparently not here.
Oh, that's stupid.
If you're doing a brutal takeover, yeah. That's what they're
Apparently
afraid
we're
of.
brutal.
Exactly.
We're not doing a brutal takeover, right?
Have you been paying attention?
We did do a brutal takeover.
Yeah, I was a bit sad about that, but Yeah.
I mean, it was sort of just before you showed up.
And then we did another.
Wait, when did you show up? Was it in the
I'm
keep
pretty
after the
sure
fight?
after.
Or was it
I'm sure I was present for both of your brutal takeovers.
Oh no, you're just not here that week. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm like, yep. Okay. Yeah, so we totally did that. And then we just annihilated an entirely other criminal organization.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, it apparently does not make friends in other criminal organizations.
No, but it makes respect and money.
It could make enemies, actually. So we have to prove to them that we aren't going to just willy-nilly murder everybody. So far, we're not doing so great on that part.
I don't think these people are real criminals.
I mean, maybe not as brutal as criminals in a bigger city. And hopefully we don't come to that if we're actually able to raise the level of this kingdom.
Perhaps we should begin with endearing ourselves to the people.
Charity work.
I mean the setting up of our school.
Yeah, that's what I said. Charity.
Oh, you two said you guys found some orphan girls. Or
Orphans.
orphan-
We found
orphans, yeah.
orphans.
It's like, wait a minute.
yeah.
What are we getting into now?
Wait, are we making a school right now? Is that what's happening?
I was like,
We can
wait,
start the school if you want.
working girls?
No, they were
Oh my
little
God.
children.
Yes, I know. I was confused because of what Josh said. It's like, wait, we did? When? Who?
That's where
I got
Cam disappeared to.
That's where Kim disappeared to. All right. So, I don't think that we should try and go after the Myriad right now, but what is everybody else thinking?
I'm thinking you're sharp chatter. Let's do what you think.
I also think it's above our pay grade right now.
So, do we go on with our other parts of our business and wait for the Myriad to do something? Is that what we think we should do?
Well, I think we need to gather more intel.
Okay.
So while we do our other business, we gather intel because we don't want to go and attack them willy-nilly. Or do we?
Well, can we potentially set some sort of watch at this warehouse house shop thing that you followed them into? See if they pop back out there? And see if we can figure out who some of them are? Or if it's just this guy who pops in and out?
We could if we have some people to watch it.
Well, I mean, maybe this time I wouldn't do a squirrel, because apparently I do a terrible squirrel.
Dude, we could do ravens. Did you see these ravens?
I did.
They
Yes.
were cool.
All right. So is it the kind of both Myriad school, more school than Myriad? What generally are we attempting to do here?
I'm thinking that if we start with the school stuff, it might make the other families less like scared of us, in the sense that like, oh, we're basically doing this hostile takeover of the entire city. not just half of the city. But on the opposite side, that means it gives the Myriad more time to like set up to send stuff after us or but if we go after the Myriad now, or at least start looking in, well, either way, we can't really go straight after them because we have to do some investigation work anyway.
Yeah.
So watch the warehouse and go on from there.
Yeah, I guess. I think that's probably the best thing that we got.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure that we're all moving in the right direction, Matt. I just didn't just sort of above the table. Like, was the thought process is we would do criminal stuff, then once we had that solidified, we'd move to something else? Was that sort of what we were thinking as far as arcs go? Or were we meant to kind of mix it?
Well, it just sort of depends. I think you at this point have the criminal underworld sort of you got the basics down.
Okay.
Right.
Did
So
we,
now
like-
it's sort of like there's the Myriad thing that's sort of coming up. Do you want to start chasing that down more or kind of
Okay.
I think that's the whole thing because that's sort of been added on to the whole. It's not even a plot point so much. It is a entity that's out there.
Yeah. So I feel I'm just going to share my thoughts. I think that we could potentially work on gathering information, but as we're doing that, work on building the school. So, like, I don't know if maybe there's a way to do some investigation that's like roles or something while we work on building the school, or so that we're not tackling two things at once, I guess, is what we were trying to avoid, I think. If I'm clear on what we were trying to do. So that's sort of what everybody else was thinking. Please, other people, speak up.
We could also split the party into like half the party watches or investigates and watches the Myriad. Half the party starts getting the school ready. So then we're doing both things at once.
Yeah.
That's probably the best.
Does that kind of give you clear lines, Matt?
I mean, a little bit. I just was trying to, I guess. So, I mean, I think you could be doing something. So, it sounds like you're trying to get the school going, which is probably a major deal, but you're keeping your eye kind of on the Myriad.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. So, let me just do it this way then. I think with that,
Well, sorry, not to throw a wrench in it, but also with Mold and Cam, also there was the talk of trying to expand our organization so we have more people too.
mhm.
So I don't know if that's something we want to try and figure out as well.
Okay. Cool. In that case, so I think I've gotten kind of what you're thinking of. Because I'm not saying that things can't be mutually it's not like you can't do some of the other stuff. We're just sort of getting the plot. So this was very vicious criminal takeover. And I think that setting a tone for the story is what is helpful. And so we're sort of, it sounds like we're transitioning to kind of academia, and there will be other things sort of happening.
Mhm.
But as far as like the main thrust of the story, thrust of kind of what we're trying to do, I think that was sort of the thing.
Okay.
Ultimately. So
I'm kind of good with that.
yeah. Does that sound good to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. In that case, let's go ahead and go to our break, and then we'll come back. Alrighty, so alright, we are coming back here. Huh. Insanity. Okay. Now. Hmm. Okay, so you have solidified your place here, and things have begun to run, one could say, somewhat smoothly. So things that you kind of had in front of you, had the criminal, you had your actual censorship criminal, and you had your actual like trying to be the healers, necessarily getting that moving. And so in a way those things are progressing, but after the bloodshed and the slow throat slitting and the general unpleasantness, it has come to your attention to actually begin more of your upright business. Now, for the school, what building did we want to use?
I
You're
think the
muted,
house.
Holly.
What are you
What?
saying,
What
Fire?
is muted?
What is it, say, Olivia?
The house we got. Let's yeah.
Okay, that's going to start kind of the main building. All right, and how did we want to go about getting students?
Well, I know we already have two, Sherry and Harry. It would be Ursa would suggest perhaps starting with looking in that same less fortunate neighborhood, because that's where we found the first two.
Well, remember, this is supposed to be our business, and poor people typically can't pay for school.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, we can still train the kids. Like, if we find kids who are gifted, sure, we can still train them. But the objective was for this to be our legitimate business, which means we would get paid for it.
I could help.
Right.
I could go like in the middle of town and put on a magic show and like try to persuade people, if you want to learn the talents that I have, come join the school.
Yeah, that's one thing we can do too. I think there was talk about flyers using that wizardly disguise that Big Cheese came up with.
Something I could mimic since he's feeling under the weather.
Yes.
Should we also open up to people from the other families joining if they have the talents for it? To show our goodwill and whatnot?
So we weren't specifically just looking for people with talent because magic can be taught, supposedly. So we were looking for people who are willing to pay to learn. And they can come from the other families, but this is not in a goodwill towards those families. Because remember, we talked about teaching other families magic, and that we were afraid that said magic would be used against us. I mean, I don't know that we're going to turn them away if they're paying for it, but
yeah.
That's
So did you want to do a branch tryout? Did you want to do more recruitment? What is like the major way you want to go about this?
I think we should see like put out flyers, see who's willing to come to pay to learn first, and then like kind of do, I don't know, because I anticipate we get like a ton of people, right? And we only have so much space, so perhaps out of like that bunch we choose a certain number of students to take on at a time.
Okay.
And we choose like a mixture of those that have like the natural ability and those that show an eagerness to learn.
So do we want to start with 10 students, 20 students? Thoughts?
I think 10 sounds good, considering it's we don't have like that much space. I forget how many bedrooms how
5.
many, yeah.
5. 2 per bedroom. That's 10 students.
Yeah. That seems
Are they living here too?
Oh, I don't know. I just assumed. Mostly because,
they're all going to be from the same. Say that again?
I said I assumed mostly because you picked up street urchins.
Just street urchins.
Well, I mean, I guess for some they can and some they don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Unless we want to add food, room, and board onto what we're charging for, or include that in the cost.
Yeah. So for this first one, you might just be doing like it's just a classroom they come to. Is kind of what you're thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe that's a way that we can also see if we can find promising students, maybe.
And the
But
next
not
level is that.
And the not evil diabolical side of me thought that those that we found who were like street urchins who had talent, we were recruiting for our organization. But that's the not evil part of me that was saying that, by the way.
I dread to think what the evil side
There's
of you
the non-evil part.
Okay, it's my evil side. In this game, I only have an evil side, guys.
We'll teach them skills and they can choose where to go after they
Right.
learn the stuff.
Okay. So we'll start with classes.
Classes.
We were purposely avoiding healing arts. I remember that. I think we were going to start with cantrips. So I think that's all we can teach right now.
I think we were going to start with like I think it was 2 or 3 different classes teaching a different cantrip each.
Yeah. Because we, well, at one point had a wider range of cantrips, but maybe we do now still.
And I don't think any of them were going to be something super violent, the cantrips either.
I think that's what we were avoiding at first.
At first.
Like I had
Except with our people.
I had mending and druidcraft as stuff.
I have Mage Hand, Message, and Hocus Pocus.
I have
It's like
Druidcraft guidance. And the rest are all violence or healing related. I'm pretty sure you consider Thorn Whip violent. Pull the Dead violent. Spare the Dying is sort of healing. Sacred Flame damage. Primal Savagery damage. So I can teach Druidcraft and guidance.
I have Cryptogram, Hocus Pocus, and Minor Illusion.
Okay. Now we kind of have to decide what we're charging for this. Is that a thing we have to do properly?
We figure out somewhat.
Yeah, I think I'm looking for Luke's document. He shared a document with us.
At one point,
Oh, wait.
somewhere around here.
Oh, these are his treatment options.
Is there a way for us to decide what a reasonable price would be given our understanding of the city and the situation?
I guess it depends how accessible you want this to be. So, or if you want to do more, if you're doing it, okay. So I'll say it this way. I suppose if you were trying to do it for like a year, you could probably like have them do a payment plan of a gold a month each. Knowing you think some families might be able to afford that, those that couldn't, maybe that would give you enough to potentially like put out some type of scholarship, was what you guys seem to want to be able to do.
Yeah.
And would probably net you, we'd call it, I guess, 2 silver a student. Potentially.
Yeah, because we're going to make our real money by getting 20% of the gambling hall and underground healing.
Yeah, and our other, yeah. Which is fine because we also, one of our goals is to try and raise the level of the kingdom. And so with people having access to magic, that potentially could help us do that.
Okay. So given that, what is this is like everyone come and see and you're going to select the best 20, or what is your general way of doing the initial recruitment?
I sort of feel like in sort of a way, I feel like we should get more students who have talent, so that if we teach them, it actually looks like our school does something, and then have like a few who don't actually show talent for magic, and hopefully we can teach them. In which case, we have like
The ones who don't have a talent for magic are going to come to me to learn lockpicking.
Yes, we'll give them that option after the year, I guess.
They can learn the dirty skills from me. Or herbalism. I think I'm trained in herbalism. Hold up. I'm not doing the voice. My throat hurts too much.
Okay.
Alchemist supplies. They can learn alchemy for me.
So I guess, Matt, to answer your question, probably the first thing, if everybody's okay with it, is we do sort of like a tryout or a testing, and then we take those who show that they have potential to learn.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. Going around here. What I suppose, what are you doing? So this is time to get okay. So let me start to put it this way. This point to start to get very creative with your school because you're building kind of this school together here. So we're going to go about. I'm going to start asking questions, and I think we'll just start to go around. As I start to go around the the group here, and together you can. It can be your character. Some people like to do that. Although then that could also just be your choice as a player, kind of what you want done or how you want to answer it. Ultimately, depends how involved, but it's a good opportunity to involve your character. So we'll kind of do that. So we'll start here, I think, with Ursa here. What is the major way people are going to hear about the tryouts?
Well, if Talask wasn't feeling under the weather, he would be recruiting under his old man pseudonym. So Ursa will be taking that over, or they could both do it at like different times, so everyone would question the existence of this old man.
Okay.
But basically, we would pretend to be this old man who would go out to the center square and advertise for our new magic school that we are currently looking for potential students willing to pay the aforementioned price, and also possibly show that they have some aptitude for magic and or learning. And to come
the
to...
big thing is you need that goal to pay. You're really emphasizing that. Okay.
Yes, that it's one thing to have the aptitude, it's another to help pay for the services to learn such magics. And we would each kind of like put on a show of like dazzling cantrips of sorts, like breaking a jar and then mending it together, shaping water from a fountain, or making a watermelon grow.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so kind of going to square, kind of doing this old man Merlin type figure. Since the two of you probably doing it, go ahead and give me persuasion with advantage, Ursa.
That's an 8.
Okay.
I have a -1. And I also rolled a 1.
Perfect. Okay, so then we'll go to let's, because I was talking about, let's there we go. We'll go to Livia. And I want to say there are 3 promises that the school is making, or slogans, or whatnot. 3 major points. What are they?
I guess one of them would be magic for everybody.
Okay.
And the second one would be I guess getting access to magic without the help of any sort of substance, other things, because we know there was the drug that was, I don't know, some more widely known. We're not doing that, so it's like we're trying to teach them innate magic. The third one is, oh, I don't know, a better and brighter future for the kingdom, because now we have magic.
Okay. Something like maybe inner strength, not external weakness.
Yep.
Brighter kingdom for all. Okay. Very cool. So then we're going to go over to Cam. Give me one test that is determining their aptitude.
I think Cam, not understanding magic, but understanding it a little bit, would be like putting out 3 different jars and seeing if they could use Arcana to figure out what it is.
Okay.
One would be like just, like normal red water. One would be a healing potion. One would be poison.
Okay. So name that substance.
Yep. Don't taste it, just name it.
Okay. Nixie, give me another one.
Another aptitude test. Okay. Nixie would be trying to see if, since she has actually sorcerer abilities, she would be looking to try to see if they can innate any type of magic from their fingertips. Like drawing, so she's like pushing them. It would be like kind of a push test, like pushing them to their breaking point almost, because that's how she knows how sorcerers tend to hit that, is off emotions and off of situations arising.
Nice. Okay. Give me an example of what that would look like.
So I guess it would be like almost like a mental breaking test, like either that or like a strength test. Like she would be pushing them like through certain things of like trying to get them to reach their boiling point, like
Okay.
either physical activity or doing mental activities, just trying to push them so hard that they have to like reach that point.
So, in that case, go ahead and give me one example of what the physical activity would look like, and one example of a mental one specifically.
For Nixie, it would be making them having to climb the warehouse because she can fly. So she would fly up top and tell them they now have to figure a way to climb up the warehouse and get her. And for the mental activity, it would also be a search me out thing, because she would purposely turn herself invisible and make them have to figure out where she is. So it's more of a mental thing. Like they can't really, I mean, they could wander everywhere, but they'd have to more rely on their sound,
Gotcha. Trying to really push those two things. Okay, very cool. I like that. And then, so Nara, what is So the testing is like a big day. A lot of people are out there, and it definitely turns into a festival type of thing immediately. Essentially, give me kind of let's do this. Give me kind of what is the opening address or the crux of the opening address to all who are gathered.
I think the crux is through the study, through this opportunity. We're making a brighter future for the kingdom.
Okay.
To really push. There's an additional objective or an additional opportunity here beyond just learning this magic, but it could potentially help the kingdom itself.
Perfect. Okay, so cool. Now for these next ones, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask a specific person, and that is the person who gets to give the final say, you could say, on the thing. But you can, everyone is free to say input to them. It is not like an inputless thing, and they're just going to say what they think or whatever. They're ultimately going to make the decision. But as far as like people can kind of give and that type of ideas here. So let's start with Ursa again here. And that is going to be the school motto.
Oh, thank God it's you, not me.
And anyone can give discussions to her now. Just so it's still a group discussion. She just gives the final say.
All mine are dirty.
The first thing that comes to mind is believe, achieve, succeed.
Okay. Does anyone have any others they would just like to throw out before we decide?
I'm good.
Okay. Believe, succeed, achieve.
No, believe, achieve, succeed.
Believe, achieve, succeed.
Super awesome. I don't know how the mute button works. I actually said something. I said, through magic, you can change the world or something like that. The world could be changed or something.
Okay.
That's our vision statement.
All right. So which one are we going with then, Ursa? Let's stick with believe it, you succeed.
I'm trying to think of a way that we could involve like magic in it.
I feel like it could be two parts. We could have our motto and our mission statement.
Yeah.
You could. Let's say so. Who gets to do believe, achieve, succeed currently? And we can always sort of go back and change this. This is just a thing. Okay. And again, everyone can input on this. I'm just getting the final answer from the person who we put it to. So this is to Fire. So in this, you have strange or somewhat unreasonable rule meant to the purpose of which, so every school sort of has this, is a thing that is done to get compliance immediately. And so it's kind of an underlying thing everybody does, and that kind of rule of compliance helps them learn everything else. And so in this kind of institution, what is this strange or unusual compliance rule?
Wait, by a compliance rule, do you mean like when
All
students
dead
are
bodies are brought to you.
So it could be like an object, it could be a don't step on the seal, or this might happen, or like any there. Just use your imagination. It's just a rule that's unique to the university, or to your school, rather.
Does anybody have any ideas? I think like address all undeads as if they were your friends. But that's just Livia.
There's undead servants doing the thing, and you must address them like they're really there. Okay, that's one. So you're throwing that out. Anyone else want to throw that out?
Hey, I said all dead bodies must be brought to her, so.
You're finding
So-
dead body.
I thought when we talked about it at the beginning, we weren't going to introduce undead right away.
Oh, that's right.
As,
That's sad.
again, not everybody is pro undead in the world.
I think for this, whatever you come up with, we're going to go with.
Okay.
I think because I want this to be more of, I don't want us to be constrained in this too much. I think I want this school to really be fun and a thing from everybody. So I don't want us to worry about that end of it. We're going to assume that somehow that gets accepted, or it might be a point of contention, but it's not going to be like you're going to get canceled for it. So like, unless I won't use it as a plot hook, but I think I just would rather us make something really enjoy and feels a part of everybody, rather than worrying about some of those things. So any other suggestions or things I would just like Olivia/Fire to consider?
I think that's cool. That's cute. The fact that everybody has to recognize Livia's undead friends as like actual people, and they all have different name tags. So
Awesome.
sometimes like I don't know, Joe is out, and sometimes it's Fred.
And they're expected to sort of obey limitedly the students if they use their name on their name tag.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So is this, to kind of go back to a little bit what Bobby was saying, is this also a thing that you don't really, it's one of those things like, I think at school where people kind of say like the mascot's like a hornet, but obviously it's drawn like a bee, but nobody says bee, even though everyone obviously sees that's what it is. So it's sort of like the students go, it's not undead, that's just a skin condition. Is it sort of like that with that strange world? This way everyone has to address it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like that? Okay. So that you don't get the thing. Like, no. Do you disrespect them? Okay, so with that then, what happens when they break it?
Livia's undead thralls are under instruction to bring them to Livia for a scolding.
Perfect.
I feel like it's the nicest scolding ever too. Like she'll just like be very cross with you and then give you a cookie and send you on your way. Very like like that one scene in Harry Potter. Have a biscuit.
Amazing.
To be honest, if anyone's gonna scold you, I think I'd prefer her.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, so I'll go down to Cam. Mascot.
Oh, mascot. It sounds so weird to have an animal mascot in Lux.
Maybe it's something else. It could be a different. It could be an ideal, or or something else. You can take that any way you want. You can kind of inflate it with some type of representation. Could be a philosophy.
All I'm
human.
picturing is the Mickey Mouse hat and the broom carrying the bucket.
Like the little hat that approved.
Yes, from Fantasia. I think can we go with like maybe a wand and a sword cross?
Okay. Did you have a suggestion there, Fire?
Oh no.
Oh.
I was just thinking it would be funny if it was just a human.
I
From
know, but I
last-
thought that'd be scary.
Yep.
Okay, wand and sword crossed. Very good. Nixie uniform.
Uniform. Okay. Well, I mean, I do dress in all black. So
And it's
everybody
good for
has to
health.
dress in all yellow.
All right. So just straight up all yellow. That is it. Anything
Yep.
they can wear anything as long as it's yellow.
Yep. But it has to be yellow slacks and yellow top.
Okay. Is it slacks for everybody?
Well, I mean, for girls it could be a skirt, but yeah,
Or for boys.
or for boys.
Yellow bottom,
However they
yellow
want.
top.
Yes.
This is kind of what we're going to. Cool. I said no, because there'd be some schools that says like, yeah, everyone just put slacks on a top on for whatever reason. But very cool. Then Lunar there. The greeting that they give to authority at the beginning of the class or when they meet them in the hallway.
So I'm just thinking. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Anybody else have ideas?
It's got to be cheese related. Or food related.
I agree. It should be cheese related.
Cheese is the organization, the criminal organization.
Yeah, that's why I said or food.
What's a sample? That could be food or cheese or other related. Get some ideas like thrown out a little bit.
Are we talking about like a thing that like we say at the beginning of class kind of thing, or like when like saluting one of the teachers?
Yeah, like as it might pass in
how
the
you
hallway,
refer to the
type of
teacher.
greeting to authority. Yeah.
Have a magical Swiss day.
This was stay. It could be their rank reporting to the rank of whoever. Also, I like that. Okay. So I think we'll kind of let the green to authority. Everyone can keep thinking about that a little bit. Shout out some stuff. Or
So is this place called Lux, like the land we're in, or the kingdom?
yeah, the whole area is Lux.
Gouda morning Lux. Gouda, like the cheese Gouda morning Lux.
Yeah, they just think it's with an accent.
Okay, so that's a suggestion, Lunara. Oh, it looks like they're still looking. Oh, it looks like you're still looking. You're all muted.
Secret handshake instead.
Yeah, guys, I would really like to stay away from the cheese. The
Okay.
cheese is the criminal organization.
Okay, so it is Bobby's thing.
Personally.
So Bobby's saying he's looking for something that's not cheese related,
Like something
for
arcane
this.
related to the school, I feel is more appropriate. Matt, if you want to move on to something else, I can
Cool.
think about it.
Okay, cool. All right, so now we're kind of getting a little bit more onto student experience questions. So gonna go into Molly here a little bit. This is so thinking of everything we've already sort of said about them, the uniforms, the everything that the school is going to do. What's sort of like the nickname that the community gives to the students?
Oh gosh, I just touched my leg and it scared me. The first thing that popped into my head was calling them all like bookworms because they're studying magic and books and stuff. Something wrong with magic. I think they would call them little sparks, because we're mostly teaching kids, so like they'd be, because like they all have that spark of magic.
Hmm. Yeah. All right, so little sparks. Olivia, what is the dreaded class or dreaded teacher?
Dreaded class. I feel like it's definitely Nixie's class, but I don't know what Nixie is teaching exactly that would make people afraid of her. Maybe she's trying to get everybody to get their innate sorcerer's powers, and pushing them every class to their limits, so people are afraid of her classes.
Okay, so they come out like bloodied or exhausted.
Not exactly like bloodied, but like definitely exhausted and stuff.
Her energy might be drained a little.
Oh no. Are you using vampiric bites on students? No, right?
I don't have to bite them to drain energy, Olivia.
Okay. And Cam, what is an urban legend the students pass around about the
That
school?
every full moon, there's a weird, random, scary human. Oh wait,
There's
so
this
it's not
thing
true.
we call it the human.
Yep.
Okay,
All urban legends are based in truth.
I love it. Nixie, where do the students outside of school kind of study or practice?
I would say which one of you would have done it? Either Ursa or Lunara have probably set up a little like grounds outside of the school where there's like grouping, like a nature, I'm guessing, kind of thing, where like the kids can come like hang out on the grass and study by like a big tree.
Side, so maybe some wooden dummies out there. Okay, and so let's go down to Bobby Lennar again, and this is, and again, everyone can give suggestions and stuff, but this is where students go to blow off steam.
Previous question, maybe mystic or sage is how they refer to. So readings, mystic or sage as the professor. It's pretty kind of plain, but I think it
I
works.
like that
for
though.
doing.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like respective authority thing too.
To blow off steam.
I'd like to think that like I don't know if we would have it set up or not, but one of the things that I was hoping we could have in have built is like, or starting to build, even though it wouldn't be a formal facility yet, but a garden for both learning druid craft and that kind of such, that the garden tends to be like relatively overgrown, and maybe like when they want to go blow off steam, they'll go to the garden and like throw rocks in the pond and
Okay. So I think that's cool. I would want to inflate a bit more. I think it's almost like where like the after school hangout, like when you're not studying. If it could be that, it could be they all can always be found by the pond, or it could be somewhere more in the village. But it's up to you.
So I mean, I think if we're thinking like they're kids age, like younger kids, maybe there's like a candy store or a sweet shop where they have like a fizzy drink or something, a flavored fizzy drink where they all kind of hang out. Make a translation to soda shop or something, since they're school age kids.
Okay, so that's going to be candies, confectionery, and fizzy fountain.
Nice.
Okay.
And sort of maybe to extend that, maybe we have an account there so that things are paid for if there's trouble or kids get too rambunctious, maybe. And that way, also, kids who maybe don't have the money to spend there can also get stuff. What do you think of that, guys?
I think that'd be nice. Because, like, then in a way, we're kind of looking out for him, too. And then we also know that kids will kind of get into dumb stuff. We know these bozos. They will.
Given who they're learning from, I say yeah.
Okay. Given who you learned for, that I say you didn't finish the sentence, Fire.
Oh, I was saying, like, given who they're learning from, we always get in trouble, so they might as well.
Yeah.
Right.
There's always some issues here. Cool. All right. And then instead of going around, I'm going to kind of give these 5 types of student. I'm going to put in chat too. And so if you'd like to do a different one than my suggestions, that is totally fine. This is just sort of to give us a starting point, which is the biggest thing I always say when I do these things. And I'll need a name and kind of give me a brief description of the student. These are 5 standout students, and they come into the categories of the mostly muscle, strategy, brains, idiots, and no magical control. So if you think you have something more fun or whatever, we can go with that. Or even same fun. If you think it's less fun, but you want to do it anyway, that's cool too. Which I didn't mean. If you have something better, it's like, no, we just have something different. It's fine.
And these are like what we would be ranking them as.
It's more like you have a student that would be like this. Like, so this is like, in other words, we're gonna say there's like 5 students. So for the story terms, kind of 5 main character students, right? And to give us an idea, to try to seed them with something. I use those 5 things as seeds, but you could say the rich kid, right? You could do some other things too. These are just sort of things that I thought might be fun.
We're creating our magical school, and we're getting our main character archetypes for our class,
Also known as maybe backup characters.
The Nixies experienced this one student in her class, but every time she tries to teach him, he can do it, but it happens like a minute later, and no one expects it. His name's Phelan, and he's uncontrollable magic.
He's what?
Uncontrollable magic. Like, he can do magic, he just can't control when it happens.
Okay, so there's a varying delay.
Yep.
On the effect from the casting.
Yep.
Phelan. Okay. Cool. And what's something that's interesting about the appearance of Phelan?
He looks exactly like Phelan.
Gross.
Looks like Phelan. Amazing.
But his animal features are that of a turtle.
I really thought you were gonna go with donkey.
That's why it's slow. Okay. Very cool. And then what's give me a personality trait.
Cocky. Like, he thinks he's the best because he can actually do the magic, even though he can't control it. So he's very cocky about it.
Okay. Then What's one thing that makes them somewhat lovable or redeemable?
In his eyes, you can see the passion.
Passion. All right, so that's one of them. Let's give another student here.
I think that there's a one who's like always trying to learn the next thing, even though they haven't finished with the first thing, because they don't want to they don't want to fail. They're the burnt out. I gotta succeed now.
So we'd say burnt out overachiever.
Yes, the burnt out overachiever.
Okay, and their name would be. If you want to think of the name more, you can also give me their magic specialty or unique thing about their magic.
I think the unique thing about their magic is that it always makes their hair float. Always.
Hair flows when casting.
It doesn't matter what spell it is. Their hair is floating.
All right. What is distinctive about their appearance?
I just imagined Percy Weasley. I think to go back to my fun anime roots, they have two different color eyes.
Okay. And what is their Lux animal?
They would be I'm feeling some kind of bird.
All right, so avian. What's her name?
Dawson. That's what I'm feeling.
Dawson. And what's her general gender? It could be agender too. It's fine. It could be non-binary. I don't care. But just what generally are they?
I think it'd be a girl.
And then give me kind of their sort of outright personality and then like kind of redeeming quality like the other one.
They're really like intense about studying, like always trying to like get everybody to work on to always be doing the homework, always be working in practice, and then they just don't they always seem like they don't have time to like take it easy. But their redeeming quality is that they're willing to put it in like the extra time to help people who are struggling. So like if they see somebody who's struggling, they will immediately help them out because they want to succeed so much that they are willing to help everybody else succeed.
Perfect. All right, next.
There is a student who always falls asleep in class, but is somewhat good at druidcraft and things like that. I'm thinking more like future circle dreams druid, but apparently he's just asleep all the time.
Like, could be good when they get to level 1, but is useless otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is always sleeping. Okay. I love it. Yeah, general things appearance that stand out.
Appearance. Just a normal koala folk.
Folk, yeah. So fluffy. I'm gonna put that so fluffy. All I can think of is Pokemon like Sun and Moon now, where got the koala, the bell that rings to school. Okay. Very cool. I'm gonna do a name.
Katie.
Katie. And then is Katie she her?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And then all right, what sort of kind of more frustrating personality like we've been doing and one more redeeming?
It's like when people are trying to do group work, it could be very frustrating that she's asleep all the time. But she also will try to help other people if they're struggling with things that she knows. But she also falls asleep in the middle. So I guess that's a half a redeeming quality.
Okay. Okay, so when awake, almost like the perfect person, but is mostly asleep.
Yeah, that's like 20% of her day. She's awake and she's a really nice person.
Otherwise, she strikes everyone down.
Yep.
I love it. Okay. Good.
Is there a category we don't have covered?
I think a few because people sort of have gone out of them. So
Okay.
Because it wasn't that so we would need all of those. That was just like some starting points, basically. Because I guess we have brains because we're an overachiever. Maybe the sleepy one's the idiot, sort of, but I think it could also be. I think just that. So I think it's kind of whatever.
Okay. So I think sort of thinking mostly muscle. There's a student whose name is Ash. They, them are their pronouns. And they are a lemur folk. And they have an ability to channel physical spells through their sheer brute strength. Sort of an odd effect of their magic.
So physical battles like making fire or like doing booming blade.
Yeah, so like sort of like booming blade or more like physical damaging spells, I think, sort of.
Like firebolt or
I'm trying to think if there are like any like earth rocky kind of spells magic stone or
okay, so basically like they're sort of and this could be also kind of how they cast. They kind of either throw something or hit some object hard,
use
and
physical,
eventually enough stuff produces a magical effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wither and Bloom is just him ripping trees out by the roots.
or like he stomps his foot. It's a physical activity that causes his magic.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Using his strength. Or their strength. Sorry, their strength.
Damn, I want to play a lemur now.
What's their kind of personality coin there?
It's kind of tropey, but I feel like the gentle giant is sort of who they are. Like they're gentle, which is opposite how they do magic.
Okay. So that's sort of like what we like about them. What do people get frustrated with them about the way that they do things, or view things, or act?
I think that it's just sort of like he tries to force his way through the magic, and so he tells people like, no, you just have to do this, and of course that doesn't work for other people, but he is convinced that if they try hard enough, like, they can do it.
Trying to make everyone do it his way, which is probably the only way he could do it. No one else. Okay, cool. Or they could do it. So that's one thing. Are we doing they them because you threw he's out? And I will get
they them.
Confused.
I'm trying to say they them.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's they them.
Totally fine. I just want to. Perfect. And then Cam.
What haven't we touched on?
I think we've done strategy.
Okay. I'll do strategy. They'll be one of the non-magical, but all strategy-based thinker. And there'll be a koala person.
Another koala.
I like koala. No, okay, no. Let me think of an animal that's more. Can we have shark folk?
Strategy. Well, we said this was still has magic, so they would have some magic, right? Or be able to produce magical effects.
Could they be a shark folk?
Yeah.
Okay.
But is it more like the strategy? It's like that's sort of what makes the magic.
I think it's more like
it's like kind of when they tell people and go, let's go about it this way, almost like formation magic, because we go about this way. Everyone has bless because we approach it in this manner. Is that sort of what you're thinking?
Yeah, it's almost like they don't realize they're doing magic. They're just forming a strategy, but their strategy is relying on magic they can do.
Okay.
Yeah, I want them to be a shark folk. The thing we love about them is that like they're always making sure everyone's good and everyone's safe and everyone's got the best possible outcome. The thing we hate about them is they're a know-it-all.
Okay, so know-it-all definitely is unique.
It doesn't mean they're wrong. It's just they know everything and it's really annoying.
Okay, so everyone's safe. That's almost like keep everyone safe. Cares about the well-being of the team.
Yeah, so they're always trying to think out all the options. Like they're the strategist. But the problem is like everyone loves them for that, but at the same time the flip side of that is that they're always being like, well, no, see, there's this, and this, and everyone's just like, shut up.
Okay. Perfect. Then name and pronouns.
They're a shark. What should we name them? We're gonna name him Bubba.
Bubba.
Yep.
You're saying
Bubba.
he, is that he, him?
Yep, it's he, him. Because all I'm picturing is a really skinny version of Shark Maui.
Sharkhead.
I was gonna throw Jocelyn out there.
Yeah, Jocelyn.
Like Bubba Shrimp.
Jared. Jared.
Oh God, those are horrible guys. Give him some respect. Bubba's better than that.
All right. Very cool. So, all right, going back through this, I'm going to kind of say the biggest thing is, there's anything anybody wants to kind of throw out to modify now that we're going to listen to it all together. Let me know. So the major thing here, everyone's hearing about this because two old guys are in the town square. One old guy, because two different people trying to do the same old man.
Yeah,
Say that you could do. Real cool, and come learn the magic and the ways. Here's how water moves, and all this type of stuff. To show up on tryout day. The promises of the school is magic for everyone, inner strength, not external weakness. Kind of that little thing on drugs. And then brighter kingdom for all. There's a when, in order to get in, you have to be able to tell the difference between magical and harmful substances, staying with your magical knowledge, or if you're so educated, you can just determine what other substances are and assume the other one's magical. And then there is a trial held by Nixie where you push to your absolute breaking point to show your raw magic power, essentially. The motto right now is believe, achieve, succeed. That is said in the morning meetings of the students as they shout it. All there. As students go to school and they see a lot of the janitorial staff and the cafeteria staff are all undead bodies moving around, very obviously animated by magic. They can never mention it or point it out or comment about the smell, and they address them still as mystic or sage to these things, and by their name tags. On their uniforms is a wand and sword crossed together on very yellow. They probably pinned on to these yellow outfits that they wear, monocolor. I should ask you, is it an official yellow or is it just generally yellow?
It's just generally yellow.
Okay, so there's many shades of yellow.
I feel like there's like so many different shades of yellow because everyone is probably from like has like the different capabilities to get different kinds of yellow.
Yeah.
I'm picturing this in my head and I think, oh no, it's becoming a cult.
It was always going there.
All right. The community calls them the Little Sparks. As they go about, everyone hates and is scared of Nixie and her classes. It is very common for them to recuperate by the nearby grass and trees and pond outside, often. And they will often go to after Nixie's class, you can always find somebody enjoying a drink, a fizzy drink over at Candy's, because it stresses everybody out, and sometimes they need a fizzy drink beforehand. And they say every full moon, if you're not careful, there is a human that wanders, this weird, fleshy, hairless creature that could bite you and all your hair will fall out forever. And there are various shouts of pain and disappointment that regularly come from a kind of parkish thing outside made by grass and trees, filled with wooden dummies. Sometimes students come in with splinters in their necks and foreheads from someone exploding one unintentionally. And again, kind of student hangout where I said is Candy's Confectionery and Fizzy Fountain. And the ones that stand out the most, whether in personality or achievement, are Phelan, Dawson, Katie, Ash, and Bubba. All right. Anything that strikes you as particularly fun or interesting, or we want to add? Of course, put like random things to the school at this point.
I know we said no cheese stuff, but hear me out, Bobby. The old man is affectionately known as Headmaster Stilton.
I clearly don't know that that's a cheese thing, so I guess I'm okay with it.
Stilton is a type of cheese.
Okay. That doesn't sound necessarily like a cheese thing unless you know it's a cheese thing. I'm okay with that.
Win-win.
I knew it too because I was like, she's gonna say a weird cheese that only Connecticut people freaking know. Because cheese.
No, I just really like cheese.
Yeah, most Connecticutans do.
Really?
New England is big cheese. Yeah. You make so much cheese in New England. Anyway.
We do.
Vermont.
You have to know if you came from Vermont and stuff. Like if you came from like the Midwest, you go to there. You go, my gosh, you and your cheeses. So many cheese shops.
There was something I was thinking about when you had mentioned the fountain shop,
Mhm.
and I was sort of like, I was thinking like the flavor goes in the cup, but literally in the middle of the shop is a fountain that spritz out the carbonated beverage.
Okay.
Like, which is unflavored, and then you stick your cup in the fountain to get and as it's fizzing in the thing, it sort of makes the flavor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sort of thought that sounded kind of neat in my head. That's where my head went anyway.
Yeah, I think with a lot of this, I think we're going to assume that a good amount of money is being generated, probably from your gambling stuff directly to the school a little bit, at least for startup a little bit here. I think that would make sense to me. All right. Anything else? Anybody wants to add flavor? Put a banana pepper on this pizza.
I want to make the badges blue so that we're X-Men colors.
It's a blue pin on the yellow uniform.
Exactly.
I'd like somewhere on campus there to be a painting of an owl bear with a princess's crown on it. So we remember where we came from.
Like where near might that be? Anyone can give an idea?
Dean's office.
I think that's a good idea.
Very cool.
I just thought of something too, like just like in retrospect, that makes Ursa and Talas the unfortunate dean.
Yeah.
Whoever's available.
Yeah, I have to go.
Disguise as the old man, go in and be the dean.
Yeah, I think that was the whole point, was whoever, like, that guy was supposed to be the dean of the magic school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. So, anyone have input in this? Because this is gonna be huge, because you guys aren't the most like insane magic people. But like, what is just something that is like stereotypically or quintessentially magic that is here?
Did you not hear about the soda fountain?
Well, that's like another business sort of run by Candy apparently. Unless you wanted to be part of the school, it could be a little thing. But I was thinking they would be out of school hours and such things.
The guidance counselor always seems to know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the necromantic staff is probably there too, so that's probably the other thing they will talk about.
Yeah, that's also there.
I'm an obvious one, and the spell that I can actually do is continual flame. Like, so it's lit with a continual flame.
Okay, so it's continual
Like
flames.
torches
Yeah,
and-
that's a big thing. Yeah. What color are the flames? Yellow or something else? Blue?
If we're going crazy, they change depending on how much of the day is left.
Ooh.
I think that'd be.
They're also
cool.
sort of like a clock.
Okay, so is the schedule? So here's a coded thing that could be there. Are like the blocks of classes therefore coded by the torch colors?
Yeah, I like that.
So you had red block, blue block, and it's when the torches are those colors is when those occur.
Black box block. Black is when it's Nixie's turn.
Green for necromancy, but also green for druidcraft, so you can never really tell. There's only like a slight difference.
There's like the verdant green and the pale green. I was like, wait, which one is it? I love it. And I think I think the last thing maybe is what is a type of like, so I'm thinking of something that's sort of like, because they actually have the classes, but an additional activity that grades or ranks the students by group. And the idea is that the students we made are probably all in the same group together. And that is like the general competition between the different groups, student groups of the schools. If that makes sense. What they have to go out to do, this could be in the preserve maybe, or this could be somewhere else they have to go, maybe to town if it's to help people, or outside the walls. There's various ways that you could do this. What's like kind of the general activity, at least maybe for the beginning quarter? It could
I
change.
think a community service thing sounds reasonable.
Okay.
Because that also like makes it like such a good thing for like society as a whole too. Like we're teaching magic and also reinforcing that we're teaching them to give back to the community too.
Matt, are there farms around the kingdom?
Yeah.
Maybe, again, if we're teaching everybody druidcraft, maybe using that to help the farmers.
Community service stuff too. Like they could choose to do that.
Because we're also teaching mending, so like they can like repair things.
Yeah. So when trying to determine those three the rankings, what are three criteria that are looked at?
Hours.
So
I think like we'll like there's a stated minimum amount of community service hours that you have to do, and then some people choose to do more than that, kind of thing. So like if they do more hours, it's like worth more points, essentially favorably.
Yeah, because then they're spending more time with their magic.
And they're also doing more for people.
good. Okay, so it's like a time in. Is there a quality or effectiveness one?
Yeah, I was going to suggest quality, but also maybe the quantity of projects they get done in that time.
Okay. So would we want to kind of make that more like maybe impact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe ours, impact, and one other.
We do something like their reputation in the town or the kingdom. Like, what are the neighbors saying about them?
Sure. Could do reputation. Okay. So
Are they building their brand?
So if we can come up with a fourth one that's an O, you can have it be their hero score. Ours, impact, reputation.
Outlook. How do they how they do it when they do it? Like, are they positive? Are they negative that they have to do it? What's their outlook on the projects?
Okay.
And having to serve.
Okay. Anyone else on that? That sound reasonable? Okay. So you think I'm nodding?
I'm looking up words.
Okay. So I'm looking for some other thing. Okay. People going to like to think of some other things. Very cool. But for now, our set forth, impact, reputation, outlook. I like that. Okay, and then what I do want to ask, because I think it's just probably better off in Discord throughout the week, is trying to get the actual name, and also that way Luke can be a little bit a part of that one as well, because it's sort of a bigger thing. Name's always sort of the big deal. Very cool. Then anything else? Okay, so was there something?
I'm gonna definitely be thinking on that hero thing. It's
Okay.
I'm like Outlook. I feel like Outlook is good, but I feel like there could be another one. So I'm just
sure
like,
there is. That was just the first O word that popped into my head.
Yeah. So what are the other ones? It was reputation. What were the other two?
It was ours, impact, reputation.
I will come up with something. I got this. My brain is working. It's going in overdrive.
One of ours is.
Okay, perfect. In that case, so the school being set forth for us to dive into next week on. I think we are ready as we kind of try to get through some teaching of students and whatnot. We will go ahead and come back to that next week. So, watching, thank you so much, and we'll see you then.
Bye, everybody.